I feel that if you're going to that, I can't speak. Personally, I feel if you are going to accuse me of such a heinous and stupid accusation,
never groped her because you actually groped the woman, which should be the big.
I've already said that I did
You
grope her.
sexually
Okay, cool.
assaulted someone,
Yes,
Bowser.
I did.
Okay,
and
thanks.
I felt great shame for it, and
And
I
it's
was
about you again.
I was disgusted that I did it. Yes.
Yo, what's up, guys? Today we're talking about the one and only, the Genshin Groper, or the White Bowser, as he's more commonly known. Earl Doobie is a 30-year-old autistic man who lives in his mother's house in Shelby Township, Michigan. Earl's locality comes in from the fact that he has severely, extremely persuasive negative traits. Those being smugness, the fact that he can never shut the fuck up, the fact that he's a lolicon enjoyer, and that he actively endangers the lives of real minors around him with a reckless disregard for their safety by streaming porn to them and admitting online communities where they are exposed to sexual content and using them as bait to lure out pedophiles without telling them. Earl was first noticed by the online communities belonging to YouTubers Smokey CC and QB Tapes. He was a member of Smokey's now defunct Discord server, where he got into an argument with the Discord's alphabet people. Smokey banned Bowser from the server, but the story doesn't end there. A buddy troll informed Bowser that Smokey MCC, other notorious locale Cyrax, and Cyrax's top troll Music Biz Marty were all in a content farm together. Bowser then takes this information and starts independently claiming that Smokey MCC is a pedophile. Now, all of the world would have been contained to the retarded Discord drama if Bowser hadn't decided to call Smokey a pedo. But he pointed the pedophilia gun at Smokey. He would turn in and having people look into his background. And one of the first things they found is a Reddit post where Earl tells a story about the time where he accidentally groped a female coworker when he worked at a movie theater. Early into people's investigations into Earl, he admitted he found characters from the anime series Freeze and Tawawa on a Monday sexually attractive. Both of these shows seem to be pretty basic ecchi anime that feature high school age characters. Earl initially claimed not to know the exact age of the characters, and we're just gonna read the Reddit post that the Genshin Groper put out on the day when he groped his female employee. The day my life turned into an anime. Disclaimer. This is the story of a man who flew too close to the sun. Some background on me. I'm highly religious and raised to believe in Jesus Christ, God, forgiveness, and all the love. Naturally, always going to church on the weekends and praying for all forgiveness and those weaker and poorer than me made me feel like I was secure in my life. And I also was a man who absolutely adored the idea of making movies. So much that when the opportunity came, holy shit, man, he has really given us the entire fucking yap session in this Reddit post, but whatever. That I got a job at the movie theater. Though I thought I had literally hit the lottery. You know the expression, the American dream, where if you love what you're doing, you'll never work a day in your life? That was me. Every day of every hour of every minute, I put on my uniform and went to the movie theater. Sure, the job only paid $12 per hour, but I do think I cared when I was happy. You might think, how can you go to church on Saturdays and work on a movie theater? Aren't Saturdays the busiest day of the week? Why is he bringing this up? Who cares? Oh my god. You're literally a Pweditah. Alright. Aren't Saturdays the busiest days of the week? For a movie theater, isn't that illegal? But my boss didn't care, he let me do it. I was also, quite honestly, the greatest job at my job. Shit, my fault. There was one time where I served 400 people popcorn in the span of 4 hours. You might be wondering how I know that. Well, I looked at the computer screen and it said that there were 400 admits in the past 4 hours. I was a machine. Naturally, I started to make many friends at the movie theater and got in the habit of never wanting to leave. Even when my shift was over and I had to clock out, I would stay there a while and mingle with my coworkers. Dude, imagine how creepy that is. Because imagine you're a little dude, right? And and he creeped out every single girl at this movie theater. When the police came in for a bomb report he got from a YouTube comment. So a lot of women said that they were feeling threatened by Earl. So imagine this creepy guy that you don't know. Once his shift is over, he hangs around for a few more hours. That's gotta suck, man. I feel bad. But, well, whatever. And then go see a movie for free with free popcorn and free drinks. One of my coworkers was once quoted as saying, "Dude, go home." Holy shit. You can't make this up. But that's because the problem I really found my second home working at the movie theater. It was actually kind of funny because as I worked at the movie theater, more and more a piece of my vocabulary started to vanish. I literally forgot how to use foul language. That's bullshit. There was never a moment where I swore at anyone. Oh, well, that's absolutely bullshit. Or anything while I was working, no matter how mad a customer was at me or how cruel my situation was. To the point where I finally did swear. My boss looked over to me and said, "I don't think I've ever heard you swear." Even the common customers knew me. There was this one time where after a lockdown, I was behind the counter serving popcorn and two guys came up. One of them had a smile from ear to ear. I looked over and saw he was wearing a jersey with my favorite sports team on it. And it was instantly that dude had not seen me for a year. Didn't know if I was alive, and yet still came back to the movie theater to wear that shirt. Just to make my day. And yes, I served him popcorn. It was like I had an identity now. The man who worked at the movie theater, was friends with everyone and always served everyone popcorn. Dude, that's so narcissistic. Because Earl thinks that this guy, who hadn't gone there in over a year, specifically picked out Earl's favorite shirt to wear. What? He don't know you, lil bro. What are you doing? Shit. So, you get it now. I was the spirit of the workplace, the man who found heaven on earth, and I was about to lose it all without having memory of what happened. One night, I was working behind the popcorn counter and was called over by my boss for a nightly team meeting. This wasn't anything out of the ordinary. He always did make sure everyone knew what jobs everyone had to get done so everyone could go home quicker. So I walked over there, and so did all my other coworkers. My boss talked to everyone and asked everyone what jobs were left for the day and how to work together to get everything done faster. At the end of the speech, one of my best friends at the movie theater, who I absolutely had a man crush on, even though I was straight, put his hand in the middle of the crowd. Now, he always did this, and everyone was expected to do the same, sort of like a Power Rangers-esque fashion, and everyone would shout, "Go movie theater." However, one girl in the group did not want to do it, and she began walking away before everyone had a chance to put their hands in the middle. Now, not knowing what was going on in her head or why she was walking away, I instantly swung my arm around and grabbed her shoulder from the back. What? It's so weird, bro. The Genshin gwopa is really earning his nickname. What happened next to this day, I still have no memory of, because it happened too darn fast. She turned around faster than lightning, and I said, "You better hustle," and yes, I'm not even sure that's what she said, I don't remember. Also, when she turned around at breakneck speed, my hand moved from grabbing the back of her shoulder to the front of her chest. And yes, this all happened within the span of 5 seconds. When she stormed off, I was standing in shock with all my coworkers behind me. They were all looking at me, and all I could say was, I should not have done that. The rest of the night went off very awkwardly. I started cleaning my station, and I couldn't find the girl I touched. Oh my god. Couldn't find the girl I touched anywhere. Yo, deadass, that is crazy as fuck to write that in a Reddit thread on r/confessions. That is deadass crazy. Alright. And couldn't find the girl I touched anywhere. A few minutes later, my boss told me to go home. So I drove home saying in my head, what just happened? What did I just do? The next day, I walked into work not expecting anything to go wrong. That's when my manager walked up to me and told me I had to follow him to his office. He told me what happened last night, how everyone saw it, even though I had no recollection of it. I was so shocked and ashamed I couldn't deal with it. I just said I can't. I took off my gloves, I threw them in the trash, clocked out, and drove home. This was the end of heaven on earth to me. It was really hard working at the movie theater after that. I did not have the courage to walk up to the woman I assaulted and apologize. My boss said that he was going to do an investigation if in fact other women in the movie theater felt I had wronged them in the same way. I said okay, and really wasn't afraid he'd find anything. All the women there liked me. I had never received a complaint or notice about my work ethic. Do you really think if I loved my job this much, I would show emotion that I hated it? 2 weeks later, I was called back into his office, and he said he interviewed all the girls at the movie theater, and he said most of them felt uncomfortable about how I treated them and how I spoke to them. I was shocked again. Alright. By now, you can probably guess I'm autistic, but I don't think that should excuse the fact a man is making you feel uncomfortable, then tell him. Otherwise, how does he know if you feel that way? If you're smiling at him all the time and he's at everything he says and does, how can he expect to know you're crying inside when he's smiling back at you? At this point, I felt betrayed. All my friends I made at the movie theater, all the memories I had, and because of one simple accident I had no memory of doing. They now hated me. I felt cheated. After my boss visibly expressed his rage towards me, I signed the write-up papers and returned to my spot at the popcorn counter. Of course, you can imagine, it felt like there was a bowling ball in my stomach. The kind of feeling you get where you know you're in hell and you gotta get out. So I served a few customers popcorn and told my coworkers I was going to take a 30-minute break. This should have already been a red flag because I never do that. But my coworker said okay and took my spot at the popcorn counter. I immediately walked to the back room, clocked out, took off my uniform, threw it on the table, and walked out without saying a word or looking at anybody. And yeah, I drove home crying. I mean, it also didn't help my house was 2 miles away from my job, but I digress. 3 weeks later, I returned back to the movie theater just to say hi to all my friends. I knew I couldn't ask for my job back and I didn't want to, even though some of my coworkers literally said, "You can still work here," to which my manager said no. I knew he was still mad at me, but I didn't care, so I mingled at the movie theater, watched some sports, and ate some food, which I happily paid for. Why did he specify that? No one was thinking you stole the food, little bro, and returned home. It was odd for the 3 hours, because for the 3 hours at the movie theater, I was looking around and never saw the girl who I touched inappropriately. A week later, I returned to the movie theater to see a movie, but when I arrived, my manager pulled me aside. He wasn't acting angry with me anymore, and he said I wasn't in trouble. He told me that everyone knows it was an accident, but because of what happened, I traumatized this girl and was no longer allowed to linger at the movie theater. Just watch a movie and then leave. I didn't know what to say, so I just said okay. So I was cheated and I traumatized someone. How does that happen? After the movie was over, I literally ran out of the theater. I didn't want to be seen by anyone. I drove home and just lied on my bed. I
Remember
always believed in
going back to the movie
forgiveness, but for the
theater
first
after
time
I
in my
quit
life,
my
I could not
job,
forgive myself for what happened.
and
My
my
last act was I
supervisor
texted the
said,
movie theater
"Earl,
management cell phone
everyone
because I was
understands what
given the
happened
number
was an accident.
and
It doesn't
said,
matter though. You hurt Kayla. So from now on, every time you visit the movie theater, you can't stay here. You read my initial Reddit post that I made on r/confessions.
damn, where'd it go?
Which, by the way, I really appreciate how you trolls online had to dig through my Reddit history just to find r/confessions.
I was told I can no longer linger at the movie theater, even if it's to say hi to old
where you
friends.
confess
I was
something
also
you
told
did
that because
wrong,
of the
where
accident
you go to
with that
receive
girl,
forgiveness.
I
That's
now
the whole
gave her
point of the subreddit.
PTSD.
But nope.
If this is the case, you will no longer come see me.
Not for smoky MCC internet trolls. Nope. Forgiveness does not
Come to the movie
exist.
theater as a customer.
Confessions do not
This will be
exist.
my final
The only
message
thing
to
that
all
exists
friends I
is
made.
conviction.
If forgiveness and reconciliation cannot be facilitated between this situation, then I would rather go to a different movie theater. I cannot go to a place where I know I ruined someone's life and mental well-being. Please do not reply to this message. Just take it, knowing that I need to move on. If I'm going to improve myself and become a better person, thank you and goodbye. It was pretty hard dealing with the aftermath, and I have not seen this girl since. I want to apologize to her formally in person, and yes, she has a boyfriend. What is he talking about, bro? Who I would happily get beaten up by if it meant I could say I'm sorry. I have a new job now, and in hindsight, I guess you've realized that no job lasts forever. All good things come to an end. The last job I quit because I was miserable, and the next job I quit because I made someone else miserable. If misery exists in a job, it's time to find a new job. What the fuck does that even mean? Okay, so that was the entire Reddit post. And Deadass, it's just pure fucking yapping, man. Holy shit. Like, and he asks for forgiveness at the end. Dude, nobody knew this Reddit post existed. This isn't like you fucking posted it on, like, the board in Imagine Theaters, you know, printed the Reddit post out and, like, sent it in a letter or through a fucking pigeon or some shit, bro. And, like, even when he said, like, she is a boyfriend now, like, why do you have to specify that? Like, it really just shows, like, the amount of creepiness that Earl Puby exhibits, you know? He's a specimen. You know, when he dies, I hope that he gets his brain donated to science so they can see what kind of freakazoid and his mental development, bro. Holy shit. Dude, he looks like a church pastor where he would touch the kids. Actually, he would do that. Holy shit. But let's move on to his quote-unquote. Pretty much what we're going to do is just look at some of the clips that just really demonstrates how much of a bald-faced fucking liar Earl Puby is.
Earl, everyone understands what happened was an accident. It doesn't matter though. You hurt Kayla. So from now on, every time you visit the movie theater, you can't stay here. You have to leave. Now, like, leave right away after you see the movie. You can't just stay and hang out. And that was a sad revelation for me, because I was already disgusted with myself for what I did, but it hurt me a lot that I traumatized somebody. I, as a Catholic, have always believed.
So right there we get an example of how much of a liar Earl Doobie is. So, well, in his Reddit post, he claims that he felt such shame that he had to quit his job. He quit his job at Imagine Theaters. So, Why would it if you quit your job would the manager not want you there?
Said Q, he's not really against your podcast necessarily. It's against White Bowser here. Because you see, White Bowser, me and my lawyer Chris over here have proven that he is a slanderous pedophile. And he groped a 17-year-old, which he takes no accountability for and acts like it's no big deal. He watches these really creepy anime videos like Chihuahua. Hey Bowser, am I saying that word right? Chihuahua?
Chihuahua on Monday. Yeah.
Drink. So what we're here to do today is we're basically here to tell Bowser, listen, like all this creepy shit you've been doing, it all ends tonight, and it ends with you giving me $4.5 million, which I will get after I win you in this lawsuit. So that is my main grievance, Kiwi.
Fair. So you're saying that he groped a 17-year-old girl at a movie theater, meanwhile you are the one getting called a pedophile.
Yes, that is what I'm saying. Your Honor.
That's pretty damning, Bowser. What do you?
We've already proven she was 18 when we've already established.
I will post it. I'll post the video.
Regardless of the fact, the age of consent for my research is 16.
Oh, she was 16?
Wait, what? No,
the age of consent in Michigan is 16. So
you just said 16.
What are you talking about?
The age of consent in Michigan is 16. Look it up.
Is it really?
Wow, Bowser, you might have just hit the legal loophole line.
Is it? Hold on.
It is. Look it up.
Is that actually true?
It is.
There is the link. There is the link.
Okay.
So, Bowser, how do you feel about this revelation?
That the age of consent in Michigan is 16. That really surprises me.
You sound really excited.
Yeah.
No. I mean,
Yeah,
it just
Might want to save that for after the lawsuit,
it
Bowser.
shocks me that that's true.
You
Mr.
just
Kiwi,
kind of perked right back
I sent you a
up.
link. I've sent you a link to this.
Okay.